Okay, we have been speaking about policy frameworks and measures and support, but now it's time to go to, to the land, to the floor, to the shop floor or to the hotel, to speak about reality, how industry is really doing it and what are the challenges, difficulties, and ways to solve it. And of course, how can clusters contribute to facilitate the process and to build bridges between sectors or between entities and to, on that process, really support the growth of the competitiveness. This is the topic now with real experts, both from the cluster side but also from the industrial side. And we will speak about how we are doing it or you are doing it on hospitality, on energy and on health. So thank you for being here. I will again introduce each of you very briefly and give you some minutes to share with us your main activities, and we will again go for a discussion. First speaker will be Pedro Cabrera. He is Executive Secretary of the Medical Alliance Against Climate Change. Just for facilitation, Pedro will speak in Spanish. Thank you very much.
Good morning and buenos días. I'm sorry for English people who speak English. My speech will be in Spanish language because my poor English doesn't allow me to be fluently. Sorry. Anyway, you have English translation. Thank you. Quiero agradecer a la organización, antes que nada, la invitación. Vamos a hablar de salud, vamos a hablar de cambio climático y salud, algo que no está frecuentemente visto en reuniones de este tipo, porque bueno, desde hace ya más de 40 años se está hablando de cambio climático, se ha enfocado siempre desde el punto de vista meteorológico, desde el punto de vista industrial, y realmente la salud ha quedado ahí en un segundo plano. Desde los hitos de hace 20 años, cuando fue el protocolo de Kioto, o hace 10 años el Acuerdo de París en la sanidad apenas se nombraba. Vino a hacerse patente el mundo sanitario en la COP26 de Glasgow de 2021. En ese momento, la Organización Mundial de la Salud sacó un documento que se ha convertido un poco en catecismo del mundo sanitario en lo que se refiere a la sostenibilidad del planeta. Bien, en ese mundo se daban 4 grandes indicaciones al mundo médico en concreto. Primero, al mundo médico, pero a través de las instituciones públicas. Se decía a todas las instituciones públicas y privadas, a los que tenían autoridad real, que había que formar a los médicos para afrontar el cambio climático. Ahí se decía también que el conjunto del sistema sanitario había que conducirlo a una situación de bajas emisiones, resiliente y sostenible. Se comentaba que teníamos que llevar a los profesionales sanitarios a una alta sensibilización con el binomio cambio climático-salud. Y que decía que el médico, por su papel social, tenía que posicionarse en el futuro como el defensor del medio ambiente y sobre todo de las generaciones futuras. La Organización Mundial de la Salud ha seguido dando muchos datos. A día de hoy se considera que hay 150.000 muertes anuales por efecto directo de lo que es el cambio climático, pero desde 2030 a 2050 eso se va a aumentar en 250.000 muertes anuales por efectos directos del cambio climático. Otro papel es el de la contaminación. Hoy se está hablando de 7 millones de personas, de fallecidos, de muertes evitables por contaminación. Hoy se sabe, por ejemplo, que el material particulado menor de 0,25 es capaz de llegar al torrente sanguíneo a través de los pulmones y está produciendo gran morbilidad cerebrovascular y cardíaca, con infartos de miocardio y con accidentes cerebrovasculares. Estamos invadidos por algunos contaminantes y yo mi discurso nunca quiero que sea catastrófico, pero sí tiene que ser reconocido, como son los PFAS, estos materiales antiadherentes e impermeables que nos invaden por todos lados, están en la sartén donde no se pegan los huevos fritos, están en muchas ropas impermeables y están dentro de los hospitales en gran cantidad. Por otro lado, el gasto sanitario se va a disparar para atender a enfermedades secundarias de cambio climático y contaminación. Y bueno, y ya el deterioro de la salud humana está evidente desde varias ópticas. Desde las enfermedades por transmisión de vectores, donde empiezan a poder vivir en algunos climas mosquitos donde antes no podían vivir. Enfermedades que no estudiábamos en las carreras porque estaban totalmente olvidadas y eran muy locales de algunos sitios del mundo, ya están apareciendo en nuestro mundo. En las marismas de Andalucía se ha instalado el virus del Nilo y ya ha habido 12 muertes por una enfermedad que no existía en España. La malaria se está extendiendo a sitios donde los mosquitos no llegaban. En Canarias se han detectado recientemente y parece que se han controlado. De aquí de Baleares han salido algunas microepidemias de dengue en el mundo del turismo. La enfermedad por vectores está ahí y nos está llegando. Por otro lado, las olas de calor, se estima que en 2023, en un estudio serio publicado por organismos europeos, en España hubo 11.000 muertes evitables por golpes de calor. Podemos seguir hablando de alergia, de problemas de contaminación de agua, etc. Todo esto hace que sea estrictamente necesario que la salud se implique en esto. Otro aspecto es cómo agrede el mundo sanitario al medio ambiente. Esto casi simultáneo con el documento anterior, el National Health Service del Reino Unido, pues saca un documento clave, que es ese documento que tienen en pantalla, para ir hacia una net zero en 2030, una net zero sanitaria. En ese documento donde se especifica con mucha claridad cuáles son los alcances según las normas del protocolo de gases de efecto invernadero que la sanidad tiene por cada hospital, por cada centro sanitario. El 70% es alcance 3, y hay que hacer mucho énfasis ahí, pero hay mucho que corregir también dentro de los hospitales en la creación de energía y en la economía circular. De ahí se desprende, pues bueno, que a partir de entonces de todas las grandes instituciones sanitarias deben calcular su huella de carbono, que hay que reducir las emisiones tanto en atención primaria como en hospitales. Conviene saber que si la sanidad global mundial fuese considerada un país, sería el quinto país con mayor número de emisiones. Y bueno, tenemos que ver movilidad y transporte alrededor de los grandes hospitales, la cantidad de emisiones que hay simplemente por movilidad son tremendas. Hoy se está intentando que los hospitales se configuren como islas verdes y que lo que llegue a un hospital sea fundamentalmente movilidad eléctrica. La cadena de suministro tiene muchísimo que ver también dentro de lo que son los suministros, que es la alimentación. Hospitales de 500, 600 camas generan residuos de alimentación, residuos biológicos en grandes cantidades que han de reciclarse para compost o han de reciclarse para biocombustible. Y bueno, en la política de medicamentos, yo voy a comentarle una cosa que, bueno, que conviene saber. Hay gases que empleamos en sanidad tremendamente potentes que multiplican por 3.000 el poder de calentamiento global del CO2. Por ejemplo, un inhalador de esos que usan los asmáticos y los bronquíticos y los EPOC, un inhalador de esos, dentro de ese inhalador hay gases de efecto invernaderos tantos como los que emite un coche convencional cuando recorre 300 kilómetros. Entonces, esto que parecen cosas inconcebibles, los gases anestésicos son también gases de efecto invernadero súper potentes. Bien, todo esto, el mundo médico, pues lo tenemos que reciclar. Pues bien, nosotros, los médicos... ¿Somos tres? Bueno, paso a presentarles lo que es la Alianza Médica contra el Cambio Climático. Nace en el Colegio de Médicos de Las Palmas porque nos preocuparon con esto. Lo asume la Organización Médica Española, el Consejo General de Colegios de Médicos, que representa a 300.000 médicos, y lo asumen. A ver, que me voy atrás, porque estoy malgastando mi minuto. Malgastando mi minuto. Bien, y lo asumen 18 sociedades científicas de mucho peso en España. Cardiología, medicina interna, todas las de primaria, neumología, las oncológicas. Bueno, pues todo esto, todo este conjunto es una asociación que es la Alianza Médica contra el Cambio Climático. Hemos sacado un documento, hemos hecho mucha formación en el mundo médico, hemos sacado un documento básico, que es nuestro documento de posicionamiento, que está de libre acceso en Internet, y nuestra experiencia ha sido llamada desde Europa en la Unión de Médicos Especialistas Europeos, y hoy en día se ha creado a nivel europeo la Federación Temática de Medicina Sostenible, que estamos liderando también desde España y desde la Alianza Médica contra el Cambio Climático. Ese documento tiene 3 grandes capítulos. Por un lado, cómo el cambio climático agrede a la salud humana, cómo el sistema sanitario contamina altamente, y el compromiso de los médicos españoles para luchar contra el cambio climático. Y ya termino. El ámbito de actuación nuestro es un ámbito dentro del nivel profesional, pero tenemos también un ámbito social de concienciación ciudadana y de concienciación política. Y estos son los ítems finales. Solo quería yo transmitir la idea de que el cambio climático supone un riesgo mayor para la salud humana, que el sector sanitario emite el 5% de los gases de efecto invernadero, que los médicos constituyen socialmente una fuerza prioritaria para transmitir el mensaje de peligro a la salud si agredimos al planeta, y que queremos que los grandes grupos profesionales, y esto es un buen ejemplo, es el clúster, pues se organicen por grupos. Queremos que allí donde vaya la opinión de los médicos sea de los médicos y no sea de un médico que sabe de eso. Hoy en día la alianza representa de una forma masiva la opinión de los médicos españoles. Muchas gracias.
Now, perfect. Thank you, Pedro, for making the effort to compress and brilliant. I think this is extraordinarily valuable what you are doing. So, congratulations. Now we will hear about energy efficiency. Okay, from Francesc Rivera, that is the cluster manager of CIEC. I don't know. CIEC? Catalan Energy Cluster. So, welcome, Francesc.
Thank you.
You can speak from there. It's up to you. Huh?
Bon dia a tots i a totes. Moltes gràcies per convidar el clúster de l'energia eficient de Catalunya a aquest acte. Thank you very much for having us. It's an absolute pleasure to be here in Palma for the second time here in the Bit Park. We have been here when the creation of our homolog cluster of the Balearic Islands. So I will try to introduce in my presentation that you should see it in Spanish. I'm so sorry about that. We have to shift from Spanish to English the last minute, but I think you can understand more or less the major figures that I will show you. So I will try to present you a challenge that our sector has. We represent the energy sector, and inside the energy sector there are the renewable energy sector. And we know that we are in a very important transition from the fossil fuels system to a new energy system based on renewable energies. And we are producing a lot of new goods, new materials, new equipment that will need to be introduced in a circularity, in a circular model. Nowadays, you know that this is not a major challenge in the short term, but it will be in the mid and long term. And from our cluster, we have taken advantage of this situation, and we have decided to study it in depth with the collaboration with the major technological center in Catalonia, that is Eurecat, and also with the support of the waste agency of Catalonia, who is in charge of all the policy related to the waste treatment in Catalonia. So, first of all, what we have identified during this first project that we are developing now is, first of all, that we need to reduce the waste. We know that a lot of different components of these equipments that are involved in the new installation can be reused. So we need to reduce the waste. We also need to try to go through all the strategy of prioritization of the use of materials. And finally, we need to go through the regulation completion. So we need to be sure that we are aware of all the regulations that are involved in our sector, and we need to go through them. So when we try to imagine how to do this project, we say, first of all, we need to have the industry with us, and we identify 3 different members of our cluster that are producing some of the equipments that are needed to be used in this type of installations. For sure, you know that panels, PV panels are almost all produced in China, and that's very difficult to work with it. But we have other type of equipments that I will show you later on that are made in Europe, that must be made in Europe, and there's where we need to point out our activity. The project, in brief, 3 different phases: a diagnosis, an analysis of different cases that we will have. You should see here structures, PV structures, auxiliary components and inverters. And finally, we want it to be in a propositive way, and we want to develop a strategy, a guide for all the companies that are involved in the production of this type of goods, in order to learn, to show them good practices, to show them action plans to develop specific activities in each of the three goods that we have analyzed. And finally, we want to identify potential projects that we can develop all together. The cluster as itself, and probably has been explained before, I think is the better ecosystem to develop collaborative projects in the innovation area. So we will try from this project and onwards to develop new projects that could face some of the challenges that we have identified. This is the diagnosis that we have done, as you may know, and a state-of-the-art analysis. We have also analyzed, we are analyzing the materials roadmap that is quite important in this way, and we are trying to identify other materials that can be introduced in this type of equipment in order to be more circular. And finally, we are doing this work not alone, but with the collaboration, as I told you before, with three major companies that are based in Catalonia, in Spain, that are developing this type of goods. And at the end of the day, the output that we want to share to all the sector is a state-of-the-art output that will resume all the information that I have told you before. Then we will study three different cases. One of them regarding the structures. You know that all the PV panels are supported by some types of structures. We will analyze them. We also will analyze all the auxiliary components. There are a lot of millions of meters of cables that are all around this type of installation. There are some structures that will support these cables all around the installations. And then we will also analyze the inverters. Catalonia has I think, an advantage that it has two different manufacturers of inverters. It's quite a strange thing because almost all the inverters producers are even in China or Eastern Asia, or in some countries in Central Europe, as Germany or Switzerland. But in Catalonia, we have the opportunity to talk with two of the manufacturers of this type of equipment. And finally, we will produce another output. This is also a report. We discuss studies and the identification of good practices that these three major manufacturers are doing. Third part of this study will go through the strategy. We know that we need to construct a solid argument in terms of the circularity evolution of this type of manufacturers. So we will try to identify good recommendations. We will try to do some proposals of actions in order to fulfill the requirements of a new circular model in terms of the manufacturing of this type of company, of this type of goods. And we also need to identify some KPIs. I think in this type of industry, it's quite important to introduce new KPIs that allow the companies to know if they are going in the wrong or the right way. And this will be all resumed also in this guide of recommendations that we are also producing. I don't go through all the details of this state-of-the-art. Probably you will have the presentation. We have identifying different type of topics that we need to analyze very good as design, toxical. I think Pedro has talked about the materials, emerging technologies, and why not how we can spread the lifelong activity of these equipments if we identify new case uses where these equipments can be used. you have here the strength that this type of project has. I think are well known for all of you. We also have identified some weaknesses. I think there's an infrastructure limited. I think Marta has told about the three main activities that the EU is developing from the Mario Draghi report, that is trying to construct industry, a European industry, in order to fulfill this type of challenges. So we have identified that this is one of the major weaknesses nowadays. We also have identified some opportunities. Why not? I think we need to. I also go through the message that Mario Draghi has sent to us. Is we need to take advantage of this transition in order to have new development of new business models, to new opportunities for the European economy, and to be leaders in some activities all around the globe. We also know that it will be something that will save money at the long term. Probably now is not so easy to see, but at the end of the day, I'm sure that it will be something that we will provide some earnings and some savings. Sorry, and we also will be able to develop new innovation, as I told you before. These are also the threats that we have. The economical topic is quite important. Another thing that is quite important is regulation. We have also talked in the previous roundtable about regulation. I think our sector, the energy sector, is one sector where regulation is quite important, and we need to be sure that this regulation will be stable and will make a framework in order to boost this new model, this new business that I told you before. We know that also the sector is not very aware of changes. I think it's not only our sector, it's all the sectors, the industrial sectors are not very aware of changing his mindset. So we need to be aware of that. And finally, we know that the prices are not always easy to control. We are not be able to control the movement of the market, but it's something that we also need to keep in mind. These are the four principal criteria of implementation of this circular model: durability, recyclability, reusability, and also minimization of this waste. And finally, we have analyzed also the market trends. We know that there are some emerging markets for our sector, for the renewable sector, where some of the products that can be reintroduced in the market could have a good opportunity to be developed there, to be installed there. We also know that there are some companies that are already working in the reconditionation of this type of equipment. So we need to identify them, to make them in a very precise identification in order to get them the opportunity to be part of this new project. And finally, we know that there are alternative applications. We have seen it in batteries, second life batteries from EV vehicles are being used in stationary uses. So I think in this type of equipment that we are analyzing, probably will have some opportunities to them. And finally, in some of them, it's quite important to prevent their shortage of characteristics, and that's what we need to do with a good maintenance program. Finally, and regarding the conclusions, we know that circularity will be a major pillar in the strategy to develop the PV sector. If we don't do that, we have already heard some complaints from some sectors. For example, the ecological sector is going against this new model because of this type of things that I have already told you. We also need to align all the strategies, even from the public sector and the private sector. We have been in the first table talking about that. we have the opportunity to be leaders. Spain, I think, has the opportunity to be leader in this new market that is being developed. And finally, as in the first table we have been explained, collaboration is quite necessary. So these are the major conclusions that we have already now. And finally, as they ask to the panelists, we know that boost the circularity in the sector of the renewable energy is not an option. I think it's the path to go to an energy future, sustainable, efficient, and real clean. So thank you very much for having us today once again, and we will be very glad to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
You are very welcome, Francesc. So many things to comment on your exposition and in the criticality of the energy and photovoltaic energy. So thank you. We will come back to that later. And now it's time for, sorry, because my energy saving system just switched off. It's time to welcome Erika Garcia from Garden Hotels. She's working on the Sustainable Coordination Department. Thank you very much, Erika.
Okay. So, first of all, congratulations to the organization of this event. 21 meetings. So, wow, my first time here. Thank you so much to invite Garden Hotels to be part of this meeting. It's a pleasure to be here and to share knowledge with you. Thank you so much. Also, I have to say that I regret that we have plastic bottles for water and single-use cups for water and for coffee. So take note for next time. But also I have to say thank you for the dinner that we have speakers and moderators yesterday. It was very nice. And yeah, I couldn't sleep yesterday when I arrived home because I was thinking about all the interesting conversations we had yesterday. So I hope that today we are going to continue with all these interesting conversations. So let's go with my presentation. I have to apologize because the presentation is in Spanish, but the organization requests last minute to change to English. So I'm going to give my best, do my best with my English, although the presentation is in Spanish. And I would like to talk about regenerative tourism. Antonio told us, please bring to the floor something new. So let's go for it. Regenerative tourism, but it's not something I want to share with you. It's a topic I want to discuss with you. I would like to ask ourselves if it is possible that the tourism, it's just not trying to reduce the negative impact that produce in terms of environmental and social impacts, that if it's also possible to produce positive impacts, to regenerate territories. So I would like first to present Garden Hotels, the company I represent, for the ones that you don't know us, and then I'm going to try to give you examples trying to answer this question, if regenerative tourism is possible. So Garden Hotels, we are a family company. That means that the third generation is already working with us, and they are already managing the company. We are very proud of that, and this makes sense in terms of sustainability, because the family was always thinking about what they are giving next to the next generation. So that's why the sustainability vision, this long-term vision that we are having, it becomes from the ones that have the money, so the owner, not the other side around. So that makes my job very easy. We have 12 hotels, most of them in Balearic Islands. As you can see, Mallorca, Menorca, Ibiza, one in Huelva mainland, and mainland Spain, and one in Dominican Republic that is pipeline. So we have more than 35 years of experience in the hospitality sector, and we are quite close to the values and the traditions, the culture of Balearic Islands, because it's a family company and most of our hotels are here. And nowadays we can say that we are living a circular economy. But you should not just believe that because I am saying that. We can prove that. So we decided to use circular economy as the vehicle that allows us to move us towards sustainability in every area. But we like to talk about circular economy in terms of local action, circular economy, instead of talking about theoretical global circular economy, because sometimes it's something that we cannot see in a practical way, that we cannot implant in the management. So I have here this sentence: if you are worried about it, you have to go for it, take care about it. It's quite obvious, but sometimes we talk a lot in PowerPoints and all this stuff, but then we don't have tangible examples, and this is what I want to share with you. As I said, we can prove our work in terms of circular economy because we were in 2021 the first hotel chain in Europe to be certified in circular economy strategy by AENOR. AENOR is the Spanish Association of Standardization and Certification. So they create this new certification that can be applied to a project or as a strategy. And also to any company in any sector. That implies to follow the principles of circular economy when we take corporative or strategic decisions. These involve all the company, so this implies to make training for all our employees, so they can make decisions taking in account the principles of circular economy. And also, this certification is audited by external parties every year, so it allows us to show transparency to all our stakeholders. So, about examples, about this discuss if regenerative tourism is possible or not, I would like to share with you two examples. We can keep talking after my presentation about more, but I would like to focus on these two examples because both of them, they have very clear positive impacts in terms of environment, social and economic areas. So, I would like to talk about local products, about consumption, because we, the hoteliers, we are big consumers. We consume a lot, so we should be big promoters also. Just for you to have an idea, a little bit of context, here in the island of Mallorca, 95% of what we eat becomes from outside of the island. Okay, so that means the rest of Spain, Europe, or the rest of the world. In July and August, our peak of high season, this number increased until 99%. So the production of food in Mallorca is quite low, and that's quite important. That's why it's very important to support local product and local economy. So in 10 years ago, 2015, after that, in 2014 already, we were talking a lot with local producers in order to increase the amount of local products that we were consuming and offering to our clients in our hotels. And we were trying to make agreements directly with them in order to increase all these products, but also not just local products, also organic products, because we think they are the best for planet and for people. So in 2015, three farmers, after all these meetings and agreements we were starting in the previous year, come to us and they say, oh, we have an idea, we have sheep, and we would like to create a company or a brand that give our product the opportunity to compete with the market and to be sold for hotels, restaurants, and things like that. Because nowadays we cannot compete. They have sheep, but they grow them with ecological, organic food. So it was organic lamb, the meat that they were selling, but they were only selling in small supermarkets and weekly markets, or just to particular people, things like that. So we say, yeah, we would like to buy your product. At that moment, we were buying lamb from New Zealand, frozen from New Zealand, so quite far away. And we say, yeah, we really want to buy your product. The problem was that they have this idea to create something bigger, but they don't have any infrastructure or facilities. They don't know how to do it. So we were helping them to make a business plan and to know what they should sell to make viable the company. So the business plan says that they should sell 150 kilos per week at a certain price in order to make it possible. We were organizing an event in one of our hotels. You have some pictures here of this event where we were doing a tasting menu of this organic lamb in order to find more clients for this product. So we were inviting other hoteliers, other chefs, important chefs in the islands, public administration, etc. So the tasting menu was very nice, was successful, but now I decided to buy this product. So Garden Hotels decided to buy the minimum that the business plan says was necessary in order to make the company viable. So that means that at that moment we should change the menus of our hotels, because the main client that we have is from Germany and they prefer pork instead of lamb. So we were not offering so much lamb. We should change the menu of our buffets. Also, we should buy the whole piece of the lamb, because usually we were only buying the parts that we would like, but they cannot do that for us. So we buy the whole piece, we core it in our own kitchens, and then we spread this product to the rest of our hotels with our own refrigerated vans, because they have no these facilities. Oof, 1 minute. Vale, okay, I'm going to try my best. 2 minutes, please. So, yeah, nowadays, 10 years after, this is a viable cooperative that has more than 30 families that are working in this project. So we start buying 3,000 kilos. In 2023, we were buying more than 4,000, and last year more than 6,000. So we keep our commitment, but also it's important to say that during some situations, for example, COVID or problems when it not rains enough or things like that that affects the viability of the project, we were managing new agreements in order to make possible that this company could continue. And they are not selling nowadays only to garden hotels, they are selling also to other hotels, to restaurants, and to shops, supermarkets. So yeah, it's a success in order of positive impact in social, economic, and environmental aspects. And the other example is about compost. Dr. Cabrera already talked also about compost, and also our general director Diego also mentioned us. Thank you so much for that. The problem we were trying to solve when we start doing compost was that we were increasing the amount of organic products, organic food that we were offering in our restaurants and hotels. And every time we asked the producers, the farmers, to increase production in order to satisfy our demand, they always were saying, we have a problem because we have not enough compost suitable or allowed for organic agriculture, and I cannot increase my production. So we were thinking about this barrier they have, and we realized we have a solution at home. So we are producing every day big amounts of organic waste. So just for you to have an idea, in one hotel of 200 rooms, we are producing every day between 600 and 700 kilos of organic waste. So we were doing a pilot test in 2016. In 1 month, we generate 20,000 kilos of compost, class A, so suitable for organic agriculture. So we find the solution at home in order to help the producers, in order to increase the amount of organic products we were offering in our hotels. But the regulation made us stop at that moment because it was not possible to manage our own organic waste at that moment. So we should wait until 2018 when the new waste law of the Balearic Islands start to be written, and we as the hotel lobby could participate in this process, and we could ask for this possibility. So in 2019, when this new law enters into force, it was possible for us to create our own composting plant that is located in one of the biggest organic farm in Mallorca. So we take the organic waste of 3 of our hotels nowadays. We start with 1 and then we increase directly to the composting plant. There it happens the process, the biological process of compost, and then this compost goes directly to the soil, and then we exchange the value of the compost for organic products that they come back to the restaurants and buffets that we are offering to our clients. So this is another clear example about circular economy and about how tourism can create positive impact in social, environmental, and economic areas. Here we have some data about it, just because it's quite important to show data. But I'm going to try to be faster. So regenerative tourism, this is last slide. Here you have some keys that we really think that it's possible, and we are trying to share these tangible examples with you, trying to inspire you and pushing others to also try things. This one for us it works, maybe for other one is other things, but we have to keep trying. And just to finishing with conclusions, I would like to say that the smallest action is more important than the greatest intention. I think this is quite important, action, because we need to go for it. We have been discussing a lot, talking a lot, so let's go for it. We need to try things. And yes, our actions are the ones that they define the message that we are transmitting to the world, and this is what we are trying to do in Garden Hotels, show practical examples and share them in order to create more knowledge. And I would like to finish asking you which one is going to be your next action. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you. I know that it's extremely difficult to compress so much experience, so rich experience in 10 minutes. It's near impossible, but it was really inspiring. Theoretically, we have 5 minutes left, so I will skip my own question. I had dozens of questions that I could address you. But I think it's better if we open the mic for questions from the audience. If not, don't worry, I have many of them. There. Please name, entity, and the question.
Try to make it. Okay. Thank you. I'm Yvan Kedage. I'm coming from France, and I'm managing a cluster on water. So my question, and thank you very much for your experiences shared. We're mostly addressing the attenuation of climate change. When it comes to water, we speak on adaptation. So my question will focus on how do you address adaptation, water footprint versus carbon footprint. Carbon footprint is important, but I didn't learn a lot this morning on water. So my question will be this one, including for impact. I was very surprised, and I am a member of the French Water Partnership. Target 6 of the Sustainable Development Goals is water. I'm surprised that the accreditation and certification you mentioned doesn't include Target 6 as a circularity, because we have also water in circularity. So this is a general question addressed through your experiences. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your question. So, of course, we take care of water, and especially here in Balearic Islands, the situation is quite worried. Last year we already have some cuts of water in some municipalities, so this is something very urgent. And in terms of circularity, we also are investing in systems that allows us to recirculate water and things like that. Of course, these are things that client they don't see usually. So first of all, we should work in-house a lot in terms of optimizing our systems, our watering systems. Also, we are working a lot in terms of gardens, reductions in showers and things like that. There are a lot of things that already are obligation by law, like to have double flush or things like that. But we are doing something quite special that I would like to share with you, that it's an experiment with the Balearic Islands University, trying to push to change the behavior of our clients. So we are making some nudges, interventions, I think it's called, in rooms, like in a lab, trying to see which kind of intervention can make that our client consume more responsible in the room, inside the room. So we probably this year, it's going to be published in a scientific paper, all the experiment that we are doing already for the last 3 years in order to share knowledge with the sector about how we can push our client to be more responsible in terms of water consumption inside the hotel room. Just for you to give you some ideas, we were trying different scenarios, trying to give them information about the problems we have in Balearic Islands with water. Also, we were trying to give them sand. We put sand watches on the shower for 5 minutes. So if they want, they can use them in order not to exceed the time that they are in the shower. And also, we are trying to reward them. So giving them some like a prize if the water consumption is less than the media that we have in the hotel, things like that. And yeah, in the next month you are going to see the results.
Please share the document with us. Very interesting. Thank you. Any other question? Yes, please.
Maybe it's not a question, but I would like to ask Dr. Cabrera if he can add to that simple question of the water management. How is his experience in Canary Islands? Because I believe we have a similar ecosystem, and they have more. They are a bit more advanced in this matter. So, Dr. Cabrera, ¿se nos podría explicar un poco la gestión del agua que hacen ustedes en Canarias?
Canarias tiene muy poca agua, no hay ríos, no hay lagos, muchas islas son muy secas. La gran mayoría del agua es agua desalada por plantas de desalación y bueno, cada vez esas plantas van siendo menos las que funcionan con energías fósiles, ya hay muchas con energías renovables. Y bueno, hay desaladoras en hoteles, hay grandes desaladoras. La ciudad de Las Palmas, que es una ciudad en la 7ª, 8ª de España, funciona prácticamente con agua desalada, toda la parte turística, la gran parte turística también. En cuanto al ahorro de agua, no estamos tan sofisticados como, no sé si los hoteles nuestros, pero yo cuando voy no me encuentro esas cosas. Me encuentro que tenga cuidado que las toallas, que si las puedo reutilizar, pues no las ponga en el suelo, sino tal, esas cositas. Pero ahora en Canarias se está llegando que al 60% de la producción eléctrica ya es renovable. Y luego agua y energía, hay un gran proyecto, un proyecto que está muy financiado por la Comunidad Europea, que es aprovechar 2 embalses muy grandes que existen desde hace muchos años en Canarias y que nunca llegaban ni siquiera a la 4ª parte porque no llovía para ello. Se está haciendo un salto de agua de uno a otro y llenando el superior con agua desalada con energía renovable. O sea, se crea un ciclo que es agua del mar con energía renovable, se bombea con energía renovable al embalse alto y se almacena ahí como pila energética para cuando haga falta, fundamentalmente pues para entrar por la noche que no hay fotovoltaica. Pero se estima que con cuando eso esté totalmente en marcha, que todavía no lo está, la energía de combustibles fósiles en Canarias será casi testimonial.
Thank you very much. Okay, I think that we have time for the last question, okay, because the lunch is waiting for us. Who wants to address the speakers? Yeah? Please. Name, entity, please.
Good morning. Miguel Galmez, TUI Hotels. I have a question for Francesc regarding the photovoltaic. We're talking about circularity and recyclability and so on. I would like to hear from you what parts of the photovoltaic system deteriorate in time. You know, they say always 25 years, 30 years is the life expectancy of a PV system. So what parts of the system stay constant throughout time, and what parts are the more critical parts that need to be renewed?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we know that in a PV installation, there are different components that will be part of this installation. When we're talking about panels, manufacturers talk about 25 years lifetime. Some panels are already installed for a long time, that this 25 years ago, and they are already working so properly. I think it will go through this type this lifetime. I think also structures for sure they will last for a long time, and probably the most critical equipments are the electronical equipments where the lifetime is shorter. And inverters, for example, probably inverters, power control systems will be the more critical components that will need to be changed more frequently in this type of installations. I don't know if this is the question that you have already asked me. Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Dr. Cabrera, Pedro. Thank you, Francesc. Thank you, Erika. They will continue being here. We have now the lunch. We have the matchmaking. You can still register. Is it still open? So let's continue the dialogue outside. Thank you.